Hello and welcome to the Divorce to Bliss podcast. Here you will learn all things related to healing from divorce, mind, body, and spirit, so you can create a beautiful new life filled with happiness. I'm Rachel Ruby, author of Divorce to Bliss, divorce coach, speaker, and attorney, and I'm so glad you found me here. Hello and welcome. Today we are going to talk about one of what I think is the two biggest fears to getting divorced and going through the healing journey, and that is being alone. So many people are afraid of being alone that the fear just consumes us and doesn't allow us to move forward. So what some people will do because of this fear is right when they get divorced, they will run out and try to replace the former partner, the former spouse, because they haven't done the work yet. They don't know how to do the work, and they're so scared of being by themselves. And interestingly, there was a study done that of women who were in mid-age and had been divorced, and they were so fearful of being alone that they, some of them could barely function, and some of them went out and got into really bad relationships that weren't the right ones for them. When I say bad, I don't mean relationships where they weren't necessarily hurt or something of that nature, but relationships that weren't right because they hadn't done the work on themselves. And if we don't do the work on ourselves first and really truly learn to love ourselves, then we cannot attract the person we would attract if we were in that frame of mind. So coming from this divorce and having all of this fear of being alone, we're going to attract somebody who isn't going to be the right person for us because we're coming from that fear. We're not coming from a love that's in our heart. We're not coming from a place of doing work, right? So it's really important to learn to be alone. And in fact, I'm going to say something very bold because I know that this was the case in my own healing journey. I would not allow myself to date anyone until I got to the point where I was perfectly fine and knew I was perfectly capable of being alone for the rest of my life. Now, that may sound really scary to some people. And when I tell some of my clients this, they get really scared as well because they say, Rachel, I don't want to be alone. I want to find a beautiful, true love that complements me, a person who I'm compatible with. And I want that. And I wanted that too in time, but I knew I wasn't ready for it for a while after, almost 2 years after I divorced. It took me until I knew that I was ready to start dating. And at that point, I did not expect to have or find a relationship. And my only focus was to go out and have fun and meet some really wonderful men. And I knew that when the time was right, that love would find me. So I was never trying to search for love. So those are a few of the biggest things. One, to know that we are okay alone and to feel comfortable in our own skin, comfortable being alone, so that we can rewire our brains, our minds, our body, and our spirit so that we can create a beautiful new life and be happy within our skin with our new life so that we can attract the right type of person to us. And this is going to make a big difference in relationship, right? Because you're not ready for relationship until you're ready to have the relationship with yourself. And like any relationship, the relationship with you means that you have to stand in your truth, that you have to be honest with yourself, that you have to love yourself completely, and that you have to be ready for just ready to just be you and not change yourself for anybody and not try to be someone you are not in order to attract a mate. So once you get over this hurdle, and I help clients get through it, it is hard work, but it's definitely doable. And once you get over this hurdle where you feel like you're at the point where, or you're at the point where you can say, I'm okay being alone if I have to for the rest of my life because I love me. That is the point where you are ready to meet somebody. And like I said, you don't want to go out there and look for that person, try to find that person. You want to go out there with the idea, you want to go out and start dating with the knowledge that who you are in your heart in here is going to attract the right man or woman to you that will respect you and love you for who you are, not for who they want you to be, not for who you think you need to be for them. Okay. So the key points to being alone after a divorce are, number one, you want to choose your happiness by focusing on the now. And focusing on the now means working on yourself first, like I just mentioned, and going through the healing process and learning how to love yourself, learning how to forgive, learning how to stand in your truth and speak your truth, making your list so you know what the qualities are that you're looking for in another person when you are ready for relationship. But first of all, making your list of how you want your new life to be, what you see yourself morphing into and becoming, what you see is important and know is important for you in this new life. Doing all of these things will allow you to focus on yourself and will allow you to move forward and heal, not focusing on someone else. Because first we have to tweak the mind, we have to rewire the body, the spirit, and the mind so that everything can kind of function together so that our energy is focused on love and on ourselves and on what we need. And then we can focus our energy on another person. Then we can truly learn to love another person. So that is the first thing. You want to choose your own happiness and focus on doing things in the right order, which is putting you first so that you can heal before you can move forward and be with another person and truly love another person. The second thing you need to do in order to learn to be alone after divorce is to make time for yourself and embrace being alone. And this can happen in so many different ways, and it really is dependent on what you love to do. So if you love to do something in particular, walk on the beach, take a class, learn coding, jump out of an airplane, cook, go to restaurants. If you love to do something, go and do it. Spoil yourself. Go out there and do something. Take a class. Do something you've always wanted to do. If you don't have a particular thing that you love to do, or you don't have a hobby, then ask yourself, what sounds fun to me, and go do it. Sign up, but don't just sit in front of a computer. Get out there and physically do it. And in this way, you will meet other people who likewise are interested in what you are doing. But most importantly, you will start to know a little bit more about yourself and what you love and what you enjoy. And these are all ways that we start crawling towards that finish line, that we start getting through that dark tunnel and healing, because we learn about ourselves and what we want. And in that way, we can build our future life. We can build the life that we want. And we can't do that unless we go out there and discover who we are. So a way to discover who you are and learn to be alone is by doing things you like. Also, play some music and dance. Take a bath, read, whatever, just keep finding things that you enjoy. And it doesn't mean that you have to spend your entire day doing this. You can even just close your eyes and imagine yourself doing this. So if you're at work and you have a break for 20 minutes and you can sit quietly and picture yourself doing something so enjoyable, and picture the feeling you'll have when you're doing that, or feel the feeling you will have when you are doing that. See yourself doing that, feel what it's going to be like. And that is really a great way to kind of rewire your mind into being alone, is getting out there by yourself and doing things by yourself. Also, once you start doing these things that you enjoy, and I don't encourage you to go and sign up for 10 different things or 5 different things. Start with one, make it simple, something you enjoy. And it can be one thing outside of the home or outside of work, like I mentioned, and then you can have another thing in the home, which can be maybe reading a book or taking a bubble bath or dancing by yourself. But Do these things a little bit each day, even just for a few minutes, and then start to slowly increase them. And you'll notice you'll start to feel a little better in time. And then maybe you'll even want to pick up something new. And if the thing that you chose wasn't so exciting, you can try something new. There's no rule. It really is all about what you feel in your heart and what you enjoy doing. And those things are going to help you to be more comfortable being alone. Another great way to focus on being alone, which doesn't really require you being alone like so many of these other classes and things you may do. But another way to enjoy that is to find something altruistic. So you can go and volunteer in some way, whether it's volunteering at a soup kitchen or helping children do their homework at your local Boys and Girls Club, or some other fun thing that you know of. Maybe help Habitat for Humanity build a home. There are so many things, and you can look in your area and find them. And you can just go volunteer for a day or half a day doing something, and it'll make you feel really good. And you realize that you did that all on your own without having somebody else there by you. And you can take a friend and do it together, but I really do encourage you to do some of these things by yourself, because each time we spend time with ourselves, we learn about ourselves and we feel really good. And then we can come back and reflect on it. And I encourage you, after each time that you do something alone or without someone else, even though there may be other people involved, like trying something new or doing, helping others, come back and at some point within a few hours, write down your experience and write down how you felt, because it's really great to journal about this or talk about this into your phone or keep a record of it so you can look back and see how great of a time you had being alone. So being alone is not scary. And I want you to encourage to find ways to do that. In addition to being with other people, of course, it's important to be with other people and do things with friends and people within your support network who truly do support you. But you can also work on doing things by yourself. And this is going to just help you discover more about who you are. Finally, I hope that in doing these things by yourself and in finding new things to do, when you go out and you be brave and you're brave and you go to a new class alone, or you go volunteer somewhere by yourself, that these things they're going to build strength within you. They're going to build this inner strength and this confidence. And that in turn will help you as you go through your divorce healing process. Once you have truly discovered the new you and envisioned your new life and take the steps to creating that, and you will be able to find happiness. And I know it's a lot of work, but I don't want you to get discouraged. We can focus on one thing at a time. But if you're truly afraid of being alone, then please do yourself a favor and step out of your comfort zone and do it. Because we're never going to lose our fear or lessen our fear of something by staying comfortable. We need to get out of that zone and we need to do the thing that we're afraid of, right? So if we're afraid of being alone, we need to be alone, because that's the only way we're going to heal ourselves. And that is the only way that we're going to discover ourselves and find who we are in this new life, the me separate from the we of the relationship. And in that, you will be able to, in time, attract the right person to you so that you can have a love relationship again, if that's what you want. And I wish you all the best of luck. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm here to help you. Have a wonderful day.